A Pizza Hut franchise is one of the most lucrative franchises that you can have. But the thing is that the starting cost is not really small. Okay, so into this conversation, I want to explain to you everything you need to know about Pizza Hut franchising. So here are the facts I want you to pay attention to. The thing is that basically, second to only Domino's, Pizza Hut is a major player in the globe's growing pizza industry. I'm not just speaking about the US, I'm speaking globally, okay? The company operates in more than 100 countries and has and actually had last year total sales of about 5.2 to 5.5 billion dollars. So you can see a brand that's really getting more prominence, okay? Very popular, okay? And the cool thing is that Pizza Hut actually began life as a single restaurant in Kansas in 1958. So you're speaking about close to 70 years. Okay, the company has corporate headquarters nowadays in Texas and over 6,700 stores in the U.S. and more than 19,000 outlets worldwide. So you have a brand that's global. You have a brand that has achieved global prominence. That's really good. And Pizza Hut has offered franchise opportunities since 1959. So they were created in 1958, but they started really franchising in 1959. And right now, they are a wholly owned subsidiary of a global conglomerate, Yum Brands. So that's important. I just want to give you a foundation of the company we're talking about. Okay. Now, the required investor net worth is about $700,000. I'll go into more details later on, but I just want to give you a few numbers to really think about. The required investor liquid cash is around 350 to a half a million, $350,000 to a half a million, depending upon the state or city where you want to open your Pizza Hut. And the minimum investments is around 400 to $500,000, and the maximum investments could be upwards of $2 million. And the standard franchise term is 10 years, renewable indefinitely. Okay, so like all the major fast food brands, getting into a Pizza Hut franchise can be expensive, especially if you are in a very competitive market such as New York or LA or Chicago or DC, for instance. So let me go a little more in detail about the cost. So if you think about a Pizza Hut franchise, what kind of costs are we talking about? So Pizza Hut setup costs, because you got to think about the setup cost before talking about the money you need to operate the company itself. Okay. So Pizza Hut setup costs vary from a modest $400,000 to an eye-watering more than $2 million, depending on the location. So your geography is going to play an important role in terms of cost. Also, the size and the type of restaurant you launch. Okay, so basically, you have a cost range that ranks from moderate to very high. If you are having, let's say, a large restaurant in a competitive, super competitive metropolis, you are going to pay more. So let me talk to you about some of the costs that you need to really think about in terms of a franchise operation. So right now, Pizza Hut offers three types of franchise operation. You have restaurant-based delivery system restaurants from which pizza and other products are sold for dining and carry-out consumption and may be delivered for off-premises consumption. So that's the RBD, restaurant-based delivery system restaurants. Next, you have the delivery-based restaurants, so either fast casual delco. You're looking at DBR, FCD system restaurant, from which approved products are sold for dining and carry-out consumption and may be delivered for off-premises consumption. So RBD, DBR, and the third model is the Delco. So delivery carry-out system restaurants from which approved products basically are they're actually sold for carry-out and are delivered all for off-premises consumption. So the initial franchise fee here is lower. You have about 25,000 to $30,000. Now, military veterans may be eligible for discounts off this cost, especially if you have the right setup. So after opening, you are required to pay an area of ongoing fees and charges, including you have a monthly service fee, and this will actually will set you back 6% of gross sales, 6.5% in some circumstances, That's kind of high. But hey, listen, it is what it is. Advertising fund, you have 4.75% of gross sales. You have the FHA dues, 4.75% of gross sales. You have a digital sales fee, which is 41 cents per transaction from the app or online. The technology fee, $2,800 per year. Digital sales fee, 30 cents per sale completed on the BK app. So you also have a help desk user fee, $12 per call and $7 per other service events like you have email, chat, late charges, 1.5% per month. And finally, you have transfer fee, $2,500 first restaurant, then $250 for additional locations. Let me go a little further in terms of cost because the quantitative aspect of things needs to be clarified. If you want to open and maintain a Pizza Hut franchise, just I want you to have this cost in mind. So I'm going to put on the screen here the estimated key cost to open a Pizza Hut franchise. So you can see the franchise fee, the low and the high, the equipment, the opening inventory. Again, I'm giving you the low and high numbers, building and site improvements, the lane leasehold. This will vary depending on the location. You also have the computer system training. You have miscellaneous, advertising expenses, other opening costs, and additional cost for the first 3 months. I'm going to put this on the screen so you can see the kind of delta we have, the range of costs that we have for operating a Pizza Hut franchise. So the big question is, given the cost that I give you, is the Pizza Hut franchise profitable this year? In other words, is the profit potential there? That's for sure. Yes, yes. Full service Pizza Hut RBD restaurants averaged about a million gross revenue last year, and GBR, FCD, and Delco restaurants generated close to 1.1 million dollars. Okay, so profit margins in the U.S. pizza industry are notoriously tight due to intense competition, from 10% to 15%. So that's really the typical profit margin you can expect if you were to really enter the Pizza Hut industry. So based on last year income figures, a Pizza Hut franchise owner could expect to receive net profits of let's say 97,000 all the way to 150, $200,000 from an RBD outlet, or 96,000 to 144 from a DBR, FCD, or Delco store. So those results rank as good to very good if you think about it. The failure rate for a Pizza Hut franchise is 3% in year one, rising to 8% by year three. Okay, again, this ranks as low to moderate when you think about it, especially when you compare it to other franchises. So, in terms of franchise territory policy, franchisees receive a protected radius consisting of 500 yards surrounding their restaurant. So, subject to the franchisee's compliance and with all other brand standards, fulfilling delivery orders to national, regional, and institutional accounts, and they're providing adequate delivery service throughout the delivery area. Pizza Hut will not develop or operate or allow any other franchisee or licensee to develop or operate within the protected radius. So that's kind of cool. So let's talk about what kind of resources Pizza Hut offers, because the thing is that they're charging you a lot. You saw the fees that they have. 4.75% here, 5% here, 1% here, and there. So, what franchise resources does Pizza Hut really offer? Well, they have three main, let's say, operational resources. So, you have training, you have marketing support, and then you have third party financing. Let me break it down for you. So, when I speak about training, Pizza Hut conduct their initial training program at their headquarters in Plano, Texas. So, successful completion of the initial training program is really mandatory for all the franchisees qualified operators. And currently, the initial training program includes first slice, which really requires at least the following for qualified operators. So you have attendance at all one-on-one meetings with designated Pizza Hut functional leaders. That's number one. Number two, you have in restaurants training at a time the franchisor designates. Number two. Number three, you have attendance at all pizza prep classes at or near corporate headquarters. That's number three. Number four, you have satisfaction of all portions of the first slice onboarding checklist. So that's important. So basically, the length of the first slice training program varies from 8 to 12 weeks, and they should be scheduled to finish 3 to 4 weeks prior to the opening of the new restaurant. So that's kind of cool from a flexibility point of view. Now, as a franchisee, you may request on site training or assistance at any time, and the franchisor may also develop additional training programs which the qualified operators and the system restaurant manager must attain and successfully complete. So, lastly, the franchisor may occasionally you can have conferences, conventions, or other training programs. So, this is kind of cool because it gives you a lot of flexibility. You have marketing support. So Pizza Hut provides promotional and other marketing supports for their franchisees and third party financing. So Pizza Hut provides some financial support for investors seeking franchise funding. However, you may obtain more economical and flexible funding solutions from the many independent funders who provide business loans to franchise operators. So big question is is it opportunistic to start a Pizza Hut franchise this year? In other words, what's the opportunity? Why should you start a franchise? Well, basically, it's if it really it depends on the market where you are at. It depends on your vision too. Okay, one thing for sure, if you are able to have half a million to $3 million and you have this at your disposal, you can really enter the market, not a problem. Because see, when you think about the franchise fees, the cost to operate the restaurant, the cost to set it up, all those things cost money. So the initial cost can be really discouraging to a lot of people. But if you have the cash available to you and you're willing to go through the process, that's totally great. Okay. Remember that Pizza Hut is actually primarily a leading American restaurant chain. I mean, they have close to 20,000 locations in the whole world, but the bulk of their operations remain in the states. Okay, so that's really important. I mean, though pizza is unsurprisingly the most ordered food item on the menu, the menu also features a wide selection of pasta, wings, sides, desserts, drinks, and calzones. So that's really important. Customers love Pizza Hut's reliable quality and prices, and the brand has established quite a reputation for itself as a result. And Pizza Hut has two main restaurant designs: the original dining locations and storefront that offer delivery and carry out items. So that's what I was talking about, the Delco. Okay, so that's kind of cool. And many of the dining restaurants offer all you can eat lunchtime buffet, and so that's really good because it really brings in traffic that you really need. Okay, and so I'm going to show you another table on the screen here that you can see facts and figures when it comes to Pizza Hut. So the liquid capital required, it goes from 350,000 to 1 million. The net worth required goes from 300,000 all the way to 2 million. Okay, but don't forget the franchise fee, the royalty. Don't forget the fact that you are going to maybe pay for like 6% of gross sales. That could be a lot for some franchisees anyway. Remember that if you are going to embark on a Pizza Hut franchise, you are going to really think about a 10 to 20-year agreement. Okay, so if you are able to actually be in the long run for that, because Pizza Hut wants you to really be in it for the long run. You can't just come and say, I want to have this short amount and that's it. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to really have a clear idea about what you want, and you have to have a vision. That's why it's important to choose a location that has potential. Don't choose a location that has no potential in terms of demographics, in terms of economics, but most importantly, in terms of psychology. In other words, people have to love to eat pizza where you are at. Okay, and you want to have demographics that grow. So it's good to have a Pizza Hut in an area where you have students, young students, university students, or young professional, because you know those will be around for at least 30 years. But if you were to actually have a Pizza Hut, let's say in a senior community, nothing against seniors, but the potential for your Pizza Hut franchise may be limited. Okay, just think about that. But one thing for sure, pizza remains America's favorite dinner option with 93%. 93%. Think about that. 93% of citizens having pizza at least one every single month. So 60% of pizza in the states is actually purchased from franchised pizza chains. So that's really big. The potential is really there. The potential is huge. So just make sure that you think about the economics before you actually get yourself into the whole franchise game. Let me give you a few extras here. So if you think about Pizza Hut, I want you to really understand that you are able to get things done if you organize yourself. Okay, it's not about the money. I mean, the money is important, that's for sure, but it's about how you organize yourself. So because you have to think about training, you have to think about continued education, you have to think about all the development programs that you have to go through initially, but also as you like all through your Pizza Hut store's life. Okay, you got to think about your staff. So it's not just about you actually investing money and trying to really make a profit. No, you are going to really invest in your people as well. You have to train them. You have to make sure that you are paying them properly. Okay, you are paying them competitively in the market where you operate. Okay, and one thing I want to say also is that don't forget that Pizza Hut, you have to give Pizza Hut probably around 10 to 15% of your gross sales every single month. Okay, so not only do you have initial investments, but you also have to pay some kind of tax, to the to corporate, to Pizza Hut corporate, 15%, and that's before, that's gross sales, not net sales, gross sales. That's before you actually account for your expenses. So that has to be you have to think about that as you plan your Pizza Hut franchise. Okay, and what I want to say here is that Pizza Hut is not a semi-absentee franchise with a passive ownership opportunity. No, Pizza Hut is definitely not a semi absentee. The owner of the franchise, in other words, the franchisee, is expected to be involved in all aspects of day to day operations. Okay. And Pizza Hut also is not a home based franchise. So you have to really you have to spend money on a specific location, and you have to spend money also on branding also. I mean, the brand is already there, but you have to spend money on advertising. At least you have to really pitch in a pot, in an advertising pot that Pizza Hut maintains to make sure all franchisees are supporting corporate efforts when it comes to sustaining the brand, when it comes to sustaining the whole potential around the brand. So that's really important. In conclusion to this conversation, I spoke to you about how to set up a Pizza Hut franchise. Okay, I gave you the facts, the cost, the opportunity, the extras, and the conclusion. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.